I'm very happy to be here because this is topic of my heart. On 21st of April, I'll be attending on behalf of the government or India the sustainable development after the convention in UN decided upon and adopted SDGs. There is a follow-up session and I'll attend that. On 22nd, we will sign COP20 agreement, which we agreed in Paris. And then there is major economic forum meeting on 24th where we will be discussing the way ahead. Sustainable development has become a catchword now. We should have adopted this much earlier. Mahatma Gandhi used to say that we have not inherited an earth from our ancestors. It's on our loan from future generations. And therefore, we are duty-bound to give them back at least the earth we inherited, or little make it more better. And to achieve that, we need to practice the sustainable rural development model. And I'll start with two examples. Delhi Metro is the best example of sustainable development. It's a public transport carrying 2 million people. And I know for certain that when the first station was to come up, there were environmentalists who were saying, oh, you are cutting trees, don't do that. 12 years down the line, what has happened is, they replanted many trees by uprooting it with the root system. They are also live and surviving. And they planted at least 5 trees for 1 tree cut. Today we have both good trees, more trees, and good metro system. That is the sustainable way of doing business. And that is how we should. The Gujarat model, which was introduced by Narendra Modi, we know, Chief Minister, putting rooftop on canal. What benefit we used to have from rooftopping with solar panels, the irrigation canal? You don't require additional space. As the water evaporation, which is 40%, it's a net loss, that is saved. And because the cool water is flowing below, I'm not scientist, but the fact remains that the panel was producing 16% more energy than what it would produce. So that's a triple benefit. That's a sustainable development. And Prime Minister's commitment to sustainable development is so final that he strongly advocated sustainable lifestyle issues and put them before the world. Therefore, COP Paris Agreement has included sustainable life consumption and sustainable lifestyle in its very preamble. So that's India's commitment. We know that the developed world has developed with not sustainable practices, but many unsustainable practices. That time technology was not there, or people were not realizing the dangers of it, and the climate change was not in the domain of knowledge. Everything granted, but still, we are walking much more sustainable way than what we could have, or at that stage of development where the Western and European countries were at our development stage. They were not walking that sustainable way. And therefore, as Environment Minister, I'll tell you what we are doing actually on ground. We are committed to provide ease of doing. Log तुरंत बोलते हैं कि ease of doing business. I have amended it. We are not going to provide ease of doing business as usual. We are going to provide you ease of doing responsible business. That is our slogan, that is our way of thinking, and that is how we are going ahead. This responsible is sustainable. And therefore, I coined a slogan first when I assumed office, development without destruction. Earlier, for curious reasons, my predecessor, minister, my friend, but he criticized me that Prakash Javadekar is talking of development. Environment Minister should not talk of development at all. I don't believe in it. I think that both development and environment protection is possible, and that's our mandate. That is the sustainable way of doing businesses. And therefore, we must provide that. Instead, and therefore, Prime Minister also declared zero effect, zero defect. That's again a commitment on our side. And what we did now, for providing ease of doing business, and as I said, ease of doing responsible business, we put the whole license granting process online. We standardized processes, we took policy decisions, we decentralized many powers. And after now I can report you after 22 months that in last 10 years, during 2004 to 2014, the average period taken for environmental approval was 600 days. I have reduced it with definite policies, making processes transparent, decentralizing decision making, and making everybody involved and deleting delays. We have brought 600 days requirement for environmental approval to 190 days, and I'm committed to bring it down to 100 days. You apply, and on 100 days you will have decision. This is what we are going to do. But we are not compromising on any environmental considerations. Actually, I'm making it a little more stringent. Today, just I have come from a press conference. I declared today's solid waste management rules. They have been revamped after 2000, after 16 years. The campus has increased, the responsibility has increased. We are bringing in new technologies and many things, and we are mandating it. So, we want to make it a responsible development. I have brought out new e-waste management rule, construction and demolition rules for the first time, solid waste management rule, biomedical waste management rules, hazardous waste management rules, and plastic waste management rule. All 6, मैंने आज एक उदाहरण कहा कि हम षड्रिपु कहते हैं. तो षड्रिपु यानी मद माया, मद मोह मत्सर Maya, that's a Shadripu for a person living. But for country, these waste, all kinds of waste are the Shadripus. We have to treat them. And therefore we have brought it. So that's a responsible business. I have also brought in sustainable sand mining development policy. What is the sand? You require sand. There is no alternative. How can be done? We can't rivers to die. We can't allow rivers to die, but we can't have all restrictions and no sand. So what's the way out? Now I have mandated that satellite mapping every August or September will give you clear picture of every river stretch, how much sand is deposited and where. So with that satellite mapping, that much quantity and there only it will be allowed to be mined. That's a sustainable mining. And we have made complete rules of it, and you will find difference within next 1 or 2 years. We will implement it, we'll make it really happen, and things will change. People were not thinking that they will ever get change, but that's the way of how we should bring it. I'll just show you one, how if you bring in real change, that there are 2,800 polluting industries. We upgraded their standards, right from cement to distilleries to all industries, that you have to be strict on pollution and you must not pollute. And whatever I said to my officers, we will not impose unilaterally. We'll discuss with the industry. If industry is ready for 50, and if the international standards are 90, I will not stretch my industry beyond 60 because that is how step by step you move ahead. And we have done it. And practically every industrial pollution norms we are revising. And we have mandated there are 2,800 industrial units, big industries, who are in the 17 critical polluting sectors of industries. And there, we have mandated them to install 24/7 pollution monitoring devices, one on their effluent discharge point and other station on their chimneys. And I am happy to report that with persuasion, with all wherewithal with us, we have convinced, and more than 2,400 industries have put 24/7 monitoring stations. Now they are my inspectors at your doorstep, without inspector. Without inspector. And they are giving me, on my phone, I am receiving every minute messages. If any industry on any parameter of effluent discharge or pollution in air, if it exceeds for more than 15 minutes continuously, immediately alert is generated, and that alert immediately comes to me. But Nalgonda ka cement industry hai. The parameter of PM is exceeded. It immediately comes it. Then there is it's in Telangana. It's again cement industry. 50 is the standard, 74 is the emissions actually happening. So PM 2.5. So everything gets here. It's continuously updating. And it's a real revolution. It's a revolution. And I can tell you that we are, by simply putting this, the first day when we started, now it's 40 days old, the whole system we are settling it. So there were, every second there used to be new alerts. But now people have also improved, because this SMS goes to the owner, to the general manager, to me, to Central Pollution Control Board, to State Pollution Control Board, everywhere. So we are monitoring. I am freeing you from Inspector Raj, but I am not freeing you from the responsible behavior. That is the message. And therefore, and we are giving legal sanctity to it also, because by legal change only you can give that evidential value. I am giving it. So, we are now taking action. And people are improving. Once, there are 700 polluting units on the banks of Ganga. So, in a cabinet meeting, I presented that we are monitoring all 700 units, barring tannery, for which common effluent treatment plant is to be built, and the Ganga ministry is looking after it. But other industries have put 24/7 monitoring stations, majority. Those who have not, we have closed them. Now they are ordered. So what is the result? The spent wash is not coming in Ganga. The black liquor is not coming into Ganga. And the industrial pollution on Ganga has reduced by 30%. That's a major achievement. My cabinet colleagues were not believing. One very senior leader said, Prakash, check up, we must have some jugaad there. Or people must be bypassing. Second day, I sent teams to 107 units. And I'm happy to report that if you are responsible, industries also become responsible. And therefore, barring one or two, everybody was very much compliant. And then we found out, I said inspectors will go and see for themselves and give the report of which process people have improved. And they came out with a report that what processes the industry has improved. Therefore, the effluent is clean, and therefore, it is within the standards, even air. So compliance was not really a problem. The mindset was a problem. We provided mindset change and brought in technology. So it is not now one inspector visiting your plant and taking the sample, and then you satisfy the inspector and he goes happily giving all good report. No, this will not going to happen. And therefore, I think this is responsible, sustainable business practice. And we have so archaic laws, I can't understand. CRZ, I really don't. I have studied the whole world. how they do development on coastlines, a sustainable development. But these archaic rules are not there anywhere. So I have studied the whole rules. We are ready with the final presentation. We'll show it to everybody who is concerned. And then we will revise coastal regulatory zone also to allow sustainable development and not indiscriminate development. That is what we are going to do. I went to Andaman. Andaman is 560, 570 islands. They are so beautiful. I landed on 9 and I had programs there, and I shot at least 80 islands. They are so beautiful, so scenic. 90% is jungle, remaining is CRZ. So it is with me only. Because you can't do anything then. And I found out if we would have even opened 10 islands for tourism, sustainable development, sustainable tourism, ecotourism even, we would have got not only improvement, here Lakangi and Phuket and things would not have come. There is nothing comparable to Andaman Islands. And we are growing to provide it. We have now inter-ministerial group working on island development, and we will work out for island development, and we'll allow things. Why we should go to Mauritius and see? We have our own at backyard. But that's how things are happening. After seeing our, we can go elsewhere also. But that's the thing. So these are the things which we should. And forest, what archaic laws? You can't plant tree. Farmers are not planting tree. They cannot do, जिसे पेड़ की खेती कहते हैं, वो कोई नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि उसको डर है कि पेड़ मैं लगाऊंगा, बड़ा होगा तो काटने नहीं देंगे फॉरेस्ट वाले, और यहाँ से वहाँ ट्रांसपोर्ट नहीं करने देंगे. इतनी दिक्कतें आती है. अपने देश के लॉ का एक ये रूप देखो, एक्सीडेंट होता है अपने सामने होता है, एक भी वाहन नहीं रुकता. क्यों? क्योंकि उसको डर है मैं मदद करने जाऊं तो मुझे ही फंसाएंगे. ये जो डर है ना, वो डर मैं निकालना चाहता हूं. हम उसको एक रिस्पॉन्सिबल बिजनेस मॉडल पे लाना चाहते हैं, और इसलिए डिग्रेडेड फॉरेस्ट, आज 1/3 ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट एरिया इज डिग्रेडेड, इज कॉल्ड ओपन फॉरेस्ट, बट देयर इज नो फॉरेस्ट. एंड वी विल with public private partnership, I invite you all, take 500 hectares, 1000 hectares, you harvest your wood crop, whatever you require. When you import wood, you are exporting jobs. I want to create jobs here. And therefore, import is not necessary. You create your own wood. You will all be allowed. It's a government land. It will remain a government land. But public-private partnership in the interest of public, that is government, it will revenue sharing, and you will get land for harvesting your trees. So that's how things can be done. Even tree cover outside, that's how you will create carbon sequestration. If you are polluting, if your growth creates little pollution more, we will do that. I will not do much, but let me tell you 3 initiatives. We are migrating to Euro 6. We have preponed it from 24 to 2020, and we are investing 60,000 crores in refining fuel of Euro 6 quality, and also vehicles will be manufactured of Euro 6 compliant quality. We will change 90% of vehicular emission will go throughout the country. That's the way. Modi ji has brought out 5 crores LPG to the families which are using today firewood and chulhas. That's a real, not only health benefit, it's every benefit. It's a tremendous thing. Next 1,000 days, 5,000 LPG for our sisters who are now doing cooking on firewood, they will be given LPG. The connection free, only they will have to buy subsidized LPG. That's how things will happen. And that's how we are going. LED, Piyush must have explained you, Piyush ji. He's passionate about it, and he must have explained the whole revolution LED is bringing. And renewable 175 gigawatt. It's a real game changer. And the whole budget is a green budget. We are incentivizing less polluting vehicles. and putting some tax on polluting vehicles. That also shows our commitment for less pollution and having sustainable development. So with that commitment of sustainability, we are marching ahead, and I hope that you all will be partners in progress towards sustainable development for India. Thank you and all the best.